If you're planning a trip to Paris, we spent 17 days there and we had a lot of lessons learned. Stay tuned to Mr. Black Adventures. We're going to cover transportation, the Louvre, Versailles, travel outside of Paris, among other things. The beloved city of Paris, the city of lights. One thing is for sure, once you touch down, you're gonna need a ride. You have options. You got shuttle bus options, you got the train, you got Uber. If you decide to do the Uber route, it's gonna cost you anywhere from $70 to $80. I know it may be seasonal, but that's what we paid round trip. You have other options as far as taking the Uber bikes. Once you get to the metro area, metro bikes actually allow you to really get to see the city how you want to see it. It's not too pricey. It's a great experience. If you have anybody capable of doing it, you should take a look at it. A second option would be taking the actual metro and getting yourself a Navago pass. The Navago pass, based on your zones, will allow you to see the metro city how you want to see it. It's convenient, and during the Olympics it was very timely, but outside of that, you're gonna have to check the times. This is the backdoor entrance if you're interested, the train metro station. It takes you right through the back end of the Louvre, which is an amazing experience that everyone should take a look at. Tips here, the left side on this picture is the people that have reservations. The right side is the people that don't have the reservations. I do not think it really matters if you have a reservation or not during the time that we went, and it was actually pretty peak season, so not a big deal. Know that this place is massive. It is huge. This thing is not drawn to scale whatsoever. Most people's first destination is going to be the Mona Lisa, and the Mona Lisa is not very big, so that's kind of the viewpoint that you're gonna get if you go see her. But if you sneak around to the left side, you can kind of get some of these side shots. Most of the people want the shot from the middle. It depends on whatever your preference is, but just know if you want that middle shot, you are really gonna have to stand in the crowd and wait a long time because these people did not move.
Once you finish there, go ahead and get your walk on, and why not visit the gallery inspired by King Louis XIV, who proclaimed himself as sun god Apollo. There's an entire gallery called Galeries d'Apollon that's inspired by his vision. High ceilings, gold fixtures, gold ceilings. This entire place is just, it's crazy. It's one of the best galleries I've ever seen in my life. Another special thing is the French crown jewels are featured here. It is, when they say, where's the jewelry gallery? This is it.
How lost are you right now?
Very lost.
What?
So
How lost?
315, we're right here. 315.
We were shooting for -1 and we ended up on 0. Shit. Assuming you make it out of that museum without getting lost like us, which I doubt, go ahead and check out Galeries Lafayette. It is a high-end shopping center where you basically get just pretty much everything high-end that you can imagine. This is it. This is it, folks. This is the one. But for the regular people like us, you might want to go to another mall that's more normal at the Westfield Las Fortemps, which basically you can do your regular shopping that you're accustomed in probably in most countries. Another lesson learned is champagne is not cheap in Paris. So we ended up drinking rosé because champagne is literally the most expensive thing on every menu outside of all wines. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm gonna taste it and hold on, let me taste it. Nah, man, this ain't what I'm looking for.
It's good?
No, it's not good.
He's just joking.
Another tip here, make sure you take the boat for the night tour. It's great, time it right. You can actually see the lights for the Eiffel Tower, which is really cool. But outside of that, once you're probably done with Paris, you want to take a trip outside of Paris to Versailles. It's about an hour away. It's going to cost you about another $70, $80. It's not cheap. This place, you thought the Louvre was big. This place is ginormous. It's too big. So that's why they got vehicles to help people get around. You got vehicles, you got bikes, you got boats, and you have a train, by the way. Also, it's not listed on that pamphlet. But when we saw the golf cart, I was like, hey, honey, it's a no-brainer. We're doing it. We're gonna do it. So, and then I got up to this little green tower and I realized, oh, it's $42 for an hour. So it's not cheap by any means, but you have options. You can take the train, which is $9. You just have to wait for the train at the stops, kind of like a Disneyland thing. But you know, to each his own. However you want to get around. It's a massive compound. You can go out there and walk for a little while, and then you're going to realize you should have rented one of these little golf carts like we did. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Even with the cart, there are some limitations. The areas marked in the red on this map is kind of where you can go. The compound is massive, but that's plenty enough for you to see.
To the right.
Straight to the right. Hey man, this isn't my first time. I promise. How fast does this thing go? Clearly not that fast. Now you see why you need an hour. Good news is, while you're putt-putting along here, you basically get to see a lot of different things that you might not even end up seeing. There's a water show, there's all types of things out here. We talked about boats. There is a boat, but you gotta get to it. It's a little bit of walk. It's gonna cost you about 16 euro, but you can get out here and roll your way out. It is pretty cool. I mean, so if you look at the tail end of this, at the far end of this video, that's where you will be rowing. As you find your way back from Versailles, maybe you start to thinking about getting outside the city, maybe Disneyland, maybe Lille, maybe Reims. If you do decide to take one of the long distance trains, go ahead and book first class. It's worth it. Second class is fine, but if you book in advance, you can get great deals on that too. In this picture, we're actually going to Mont Saint Michel, which I'll put the link in the video on how to do that. You know, day trip where you can ride this bus. It's an amazing trip. It's about 2.5, 3 hours to get there round trip, but you can do both in a day. You get to see this amazing castle, which is like nothing anywhere in the world. It's literally priceless. Have to do it on your trip. If you're still in the commuting mood, you can still make it out to Disneyland on the train. It's only an hour away, not too expensive. You probably can get some deal wrapped into your pass where you can get out there within your benefit within that metro area. Definitely worth your time. I will put a link up. We did a video on this as well. We almost missed out, and I'm glad we didn't because it's a lot different than what I expected. Lastly, if you were in the right skyline, you probably saw Montmartre, which is a beautiful spectacle. I saw it in the skyline. I was like, whoa, what is that? So we had to go check it out. You get over here, and it's another beautiful sight in Paris. One of the many gyms that the city has to offer. Definitely not that far away. You can take the metro here, pretty easy to get to as long as you're in that city center. And once you get up here, you've got great views of the city. You can check out the chapel. But keep in mind, weather was a big issue, so plan accordingly. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, Mr. Black.